And greetings, everyone. Welcome once again to another KOIN Conversation. I'm KOIN Sports Director Adam Bjarnson, and I am so thrilled to be talking to this guest today. I'm going to bring her up here in just a moment. Our paths cross in so many different circles that it's been crazy over the last 20 years or so. She is a new inductee, soon will be, into the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame. She is none other than Laurie Milligan, and she is joining us right about now. Laurie, I'm going to make sure I pull the right one up, and there you are. Ta-da! There you are. Excellent. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. I will say, though, however, most people will not know me by Vizzini. They'll know me by Laurie Milligan. So there you go.
Tigard High School graduate, and then went on to star at the University of Tennessee for the Lady Vols and Pat Summitt. First of all, congratulations on this honor bestowed upon you. It is going to be some kind of fun to see you in the class of 2025 for the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame. What was it like when you got that message?
Well, last year I was nominated, and I was even surprised by that, but I was on the nomination board, and I kind of realized after a period of time that this is not going to happen. And then they announced the inductees. And so, honestly, since then, I completely forgot about it. I didn't know that I stayed on the ballot. Yeah, I guess you can stay on the ballot for many years until people actually get chosen. So I got a phone call, and I decided I get a lot of spam with work, so I typically don't answer my phone. So I got the phone call, and Kira started talking, and when she said she was with the Hall of Fame, I was like, what's this? And all of a sudden I got flushed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I started sweating. I'm like, what is this? And so when she told me that I was inducted, I was just like, I was floored. I mean, it's been 25 years since I finished playing basketball. So honestly, I mean, it's an honor.
And you are still busy talking basketball. I mean, the shirt you're wearing right now, come on, let's just be real, right?
Right.
Everyone watches women's sports. That's right. And of course, with the Portland Fire coming back, and you've had your own basketball camps. You and I have actually done a story, and that's been some time ago. I think that was 20 years ago. So that tells you how long I've been doing this as well. But it is just so much fun just to see women's sports where it is now, because heck, 20 years ago when you guys are dominating in Tennessee, we didn't have the type of exposure that we do now to women's sports.
Right. It's night and day. I think the WNBA, the first WNBA team, started a year before I graduated college in 96 or 97. So it was only around a year before I graduated. I shattered cartilage on my kneecap my junior year. So really my career was pretty much done. But I look at them now and I'm like, there's no way I could have competed with these guys. They're so far and above where I could have ever gone. But it's so much fun. I took a break watching basketball for almost 20 years, 15, 20 years. I just, it's like I got burned out. So all of a sudden, the excitement around Caitlin Clark and the WNBA in the last couple of years, honestly, my mom is a bigger fan than I am, but she has spurred me on. She says, some of those players just remind me of how you used to play, free and carefree, and just making other players look good. You're passing, things like that, and it's gotten me excited. In fact, I was watching the games last night, so round 2. But I am super excited for the Fire. My mom and I have put in deposits. We were on the first day we got deposits for the Portland Fire, so we're very excited to get season tickets.
And every time I run into you and your mom's usually your wing woman. She's right next to your side all the time.
Yep.
All she wants to do is talk about women's basketball. I know. And I absolutely love it. And we're going to talk about you and your mom and the career that you guys are both in now here in a little bit. But let's stay centric to really what's happening here in Oregon. First of all, who else is going in? We had touched base and talked about this off camera. Who else is going in?
I don't know. I don't have a great memory. So Kira mentioned a few names, but again, I know a Timbers team is in it. There's an Olympian, I think a former Ducks spokesperson.
Yeah.
I don't want to name names if I'm wrong. I don't want to be called out for that. So honestly, there's a good crowd. I think there's only 7 or 8, maybe at the most. So not a ton.
Yeah, it's just going to be so much fun, I know, for you to get in there. And I always marvel at this. So for everyone watching right now, Laurie is one of one, right? Am I still correct in that? You are the only woman, only basketball player man or woman, to ever start in 4 consecutive NCAA championship basketball games.
Yeah, super close.
Yeah.
I'm the first
Okay.
player, man or woman, to play in 4 consecutive Final Four championship games. So to play, not necessarily start.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. So yeah.
And you are now one of the. Who's the other then? Do you know?
I know Diana Taurasi's one.
I
Uh,
I mean.
they're Connecticut players because they're the only ones that have won,
Oh, true.
been in the Final Four that many times. So I believe it's only maybe 2 or 3 at the most.
That's good company.
Maybe.
I
Yeah,
mean,
hey, I mean, they don't know who I am,
Laurie
but
Milligan and Diana Taurasi. Come on now.
hey, yeah.
We'll take it. We'll take it. With the whole Portland fire and that starting up, I mean, it's not going to be long at all. They have I think close to 20,000 season tickets already spoken
That
for.
bumped up. That's
Yes,
awesome. Yeah.
it is crazy. I mean, Moda Center holds what? Just slightly over that, if I'm not mistaken. So that does speak volumes about where women's basketball. We can thank those that have kind of paved the path, like the Diana Taurasi's, and of course now with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark doing what they do. Yeah. Sabrina Ionescu. I mean, Portland's going to have their pick. I don't know where it's going to land, who they're going to get, but it's excitement. And I kind of start to feel it a little bit now more too. And I remember, with, who was the gal? Jackie Stiles, because that's how we used to always say her name, Jackie Stiles. Jackie Stiles. And I think it's just so much fun just to be able to have them back. And what better market really than Portland to have an expansion team, right?
Mm-hmm. I like the fact that they also kept the name. I mean, they refreshed the logo. But, Portland Fire it was just ahead of its time. And, I just think, because of what Caitlin's done and Angel Reese and especially in college and the rivalry has really just sparked then a spotlight on the WNBA. And now other players are getting recognized. I mean, I'm still a Fever fan, even though Caitlin's not playing. I mean, I've really invested in some of the other players. So, with Kelsey Mitchell, especially just stepping up and some of the other players that are just killing it right now. It's fun to watch. I mean, I just like to watch good basketball.
Yeah.
And this is really good basketball. They're aggressive. They're strong. They're talented. They can do things that would hurt me just looking at if I were to do it. So, I'm impressed. Yeah, for sure.
Go back to your time when you were at Tigard and you were being recruited and how much recruiting has changed now. I mean, with NIL and all this stuff where people are getting paid millions of dollars to attend a school. I mean, the kid who's the quarterback at Oregon State right now, not having the greatest year, Malik Murphy, making $1.4 million to come over from Duke. I mean, that kind of money back when you were playing, I mean, first of all, that didn't exist. But really where it's at now and really kind of the state of college athletics, I'm glad these athletes are getting paid, but there's it's like the wild, wild west right now, Laurie, and there's no limit to what these players can make. And I don't know if that's good for the long-term health of college sports.
Right. Yeah. That'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, we can't really, hindsight's 2020. So we can't really, forecast exactly what it's going to do, but and I think there needs to be some rules around it. But I will admit, and I don't know if I say admit, but when I was being recruited, I still have a box of unopened letters. And I remember my dad saying, hey, you need to figure out what's important to you when you're choosing a college and what values you are placing on where you want to go. And, if you got injured, would you enjoy going there? Do you get along with the team? Do you like the culture? Do you like the atmosphere? So, if you were to be injured, would you still want to go to that school? And what's important to you? And what was important to me was I wanted to go to a school where I wouldn't be the best player, where I would have to work my way up the lineup to get a starting position, and I would learn from the best, and that's Pat Summitt, right? So, and that's exactly what happened. Was I a star player? Absolutely not. Was I there at Tennessee at the right time? Absolutely. I mean, winning 3 national championships, going to the Final Four 4 years in a row, losing my freshman year to UConn, their first national championship. When I was recruited, there was some schools that actually offered me some money, and I'm like, that's not legal.
Right.
And I'm like, so, I really wanted to be on the up and up because, that's anybody can cheat. And I don't want to win knowing I've cheated. Because if
Right.
I win knowing I've cheated, like, to me, that's stripping me of all dignity of the actual award. So I don't want to win if I didn't touch the line. I don't want to win if there's a call that the ball went off on me and I'm saying, no, it was mine, no, it was mine, and I get the ball back and I happen to score. That to
Mm.
me is not, there's not a lot of worth in that, you know? So when I was choosing a school, I wanted to choose a school that was on the up and up, that played by the rules. And, you know, I look back now and there's some of my teammates, not necessarily some of my teammates, but some people, players, student athletes during my era where they're upset at NIL. They're upset because, well, shouldn't we gotten paid? Well, shouldn't this be retroactive? You know what? It wasn't our time.
Yeah.
But you know what? I experienced some amazing things I got to do. Pat was so generous with our time together. You know, when we went to Chicago, it's like, hey, you guys take care of business and we're going to have fun. So we went
Mhm.
to Michael Jordan's office. We got to hang out with Michael Jordan for a half hour and chit chat with him. And then we went to his restaurant that night for dinner, right? So we got to do stuff like that. When we went to Vermont and played University of Vermont, we would go, snowshoeing up at,
Mm.
one of the big mountains. I think it's Mount Alyeska. I think I remember. And then, we went to Alaska. As long as you guys take care of business in this tournament, we're going to go dog sledding. And so guess what? We went dog sledding. So, I mean, so many wonderful experiences. And, NIL is great. And hopefully they put some things around it to where, hey, we'll give you this amount of money, but there's got to be hey, you've got to stay here, right?
Mhm.
If for
Mhm.
some reason you don't stay here, guess what? Like it's like a contract; it goes away. So I don't know the ins and outs of it. It's complicated, but they'll figure it out.
It's pretty impressive though, the amount of money that some of these athletes are getting. Some
Right,
of them are making more money now, and we're talking the big revenue
right,
generating sports like football and
right.
really men's basketball,
Hmm.
to stay in college because they can make more in college than
They
they
can,
can if they go to the
yeah,
NFL or NBA, and
yeah,
that's to
right.
me just so
It's worth
bizarre. And
it.
yeah,
It's worth it though. I mean, you're there. Why risk getting hurt and not even playing or not
yeah.
even? I think maybe it's going to encourage players to stay in collegiate sports.
Hmm.
And hopefully it'd be nice if they actually stayed at the school they start at. The
I
grass is rarely greener on the other side. It's green where you water it.
Yeah.
And, it's important that these kids understand that, you make the culture that you are in. And
Hmm.
you got to look at the culture when it comes to picking and choosing a school.
It's so hard to watch what's happening really in the college landscape now too, because so
Mhm.
many are literally one and done, and then they're gone, and then they're
Right,
going to play in another school the next year,
right,
and so it's hard for the fan bases of all these schools to
right.
really connect to
Yeah,
this team or this player because they're literally
right.
there for 12 months and that's it.
I
So
know.
hey, let's take a quick time out.
Yeah.
We're going to take a
Okay.
break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about the venture with you and your mom, and we're going to talk
Okay.
real estate. That's what we're
Oh,
going to
uh-oh.
do. That's
Okay.
exactly it. We're going to do that right in when we get back here in 1 minute. All right, welcome back, everyone, to KOIN Conversations. Adam Bjarnson with you. Again, we are joined by the great Laurie Milligan. She now goes by Vizzini, but you will remember her as Laurie Milligan, former Tiger High great. And now she is a rock star realtor for Premier Property Group, works with her mom, Jenny. And it is so fun to see the two of you always at we do what we call CE classes for people that aren't in the industry. And for people that might not know, in addition to being the KOIN sports director here and now 24 years in Portland, Laurie, I've been leading a dual life as a
Yes.
dual career. I'm a sales executive for Lawyers Title. And
Yeah.
Premier Property Group
Great
is one of
company.
our great accounts that we have a relationship with. So you've been doing this now for how long? And we saw each other out at the Street of Dreams, and we were
Mhm.
talking about. We
Yeah.
had so many different conversations at that
Yeah.
just about a
Right.
month ago. But you've been
Yeah.
doing real estate now for how long in Oregon?
21 years. Since
21.
2004. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And
Yeah.
loving it, right? I mean, you're such a people
Yeah.
person. When I see you out and about, I'm like, well, of course she's just great at what she does.
Mm.
She's got the baseline from all the way through Tigard and then at Tennessee, and of course whatever she does, she's going to succeed at.
Mm.
And you've been
Thank you.
succeeding in real estate as well. And
Thank you.
Oregon right now. Kind of talk about the market right now on,
Sure.
because a lot of people are just waiting for the interest rates to
Right.
fall, and they've come down a little, but Portland is still a
Hmm.
hot market. People still want to
Right.
be here.
Yeah, I mean, I started 21 years ago, mother-daughter team with my mom, Jenny Milligan, and really loved it. In fact, I don't actually like houses, Adam. I don't know if I've ever told you that.
Yes.
I really don't. In fact, I like the people that I work with, and I want somebody that they know that they can trust, that they also know that I'll get after it for them. You know, I'm a point
Hmm.
guard. I like to lead projects. I like to lead teams, and they know what they're getting when they work with me because of my track record, because of my experience with athletics and sports, and how I treat people. And so
Hmm.
I think when somebody kind of sees my personality, they say, "Oh yeah, we'll work really well with Laurie." Or you know what, gosh, Laurie might be a little intense for us. You know, maybe not. But either way. I actually have some great clients. I've had very few people fire me. One, it's because I was too honest with them, about what they could or couldn't do, or getting their house ready, or being honest about price, or but honestly, I like the project oriented. I like to be rewarded for doing a good job. The thing about real estate, Adam, is that we get paid on contingency. We don't get paid for trying.
Right.
And I part of me likes that. Part of me likes the challenge. Um, but I don't get paid for trying. I can work 2 years on a deal and it fall through and nothing. I put, in, right. So it's a tough business, but because I've got my mom, as my partner, and as some really good sounding board, that it's worked really well. So anyway, long of it short, that's kind of been my real estate career. But right now, the market, yeah, it is tough, and it's
Mhm.
more of a buyer's market. I think they're still waiting for interest rates to come down. They're getting good deals, but there's some sellers. I've had some sellers say, you know what, we're not willing to sell it at that price, so they're taking it off the market, waiting, doing a few updates, and then they're waiting until the market gets a little bit better. But there's always people that need to buy and always people that need to sell. So there's transactions and closings happening every day.
We talk about that often. It's just one of those things right now where there's always going to be a need. It doesn't matter if the interest rate
Right.
was at 20%. Real estate is
Right.
always going to be moving. So we
Yeah.
always have to be ahead of the game. So when
Hmm.
those rates do drop, that we're
Right.
like ready to pounce and we're
Yeah.
staying on top of our clients and our
Hmm.
targets and all of that.
Right.
But it is a pretty fabulous industry. And I
Hmm.
mean, you're so perfect for it. And you and your
Hmm.
mom just are just such a joy to be around
She's
at
pretty
all
great.
hours. Yeah. And so it is, and then now we just got to try to figure out what we're going to do with middle housing and all kinds of
Right.
things, and getting people off the street and into affordable homes,
Right.
because
Right.
that's going to be
Yeah.
a continuous battle, regardless of
Yeah.
what side of the aisle you're on. Right? These are
Absolutely.
real life issues right
Absolutely.
now. Um, what else do we want to touch base on? What I didn't really come with a script or anything. I'm like, oh, Lori and I can kill a half hour. We
Oh
got
yeah.
this.
Totally. Totally. Well, I will say that my daughter, when I told my daughter I was doing this, she was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, mom, mention me." I go, "Sweetheart." She's like,
Now's
I
your
go,
time,
"Well,
girl.
congratulations on getting inducted in the Hall of Fame, but can you talk about me?"
Love it. I love
So
it.
maybe I can. Hey, maybe she might be part of Team Milligan someday. Who knows? I want her to figure out her career and figure out who she is and all that stuff. Go to college, figure out what she wants to do. But maybe I'll hire her to be my graphic designer, and be a part of Team Milligan. Maybe do some real estate on the side. Who
Well,
knows? I mean, that's
and
kind of a hard thing to do. But
what's her name and how old is she right now?
my daughter's name is Nixon, and
Nixon.
she's a Nixon. Yeah.
I
So after
love
the
it.
watch brand, not the president. um, so yeah, so no, she's a sophomore in high school. So
Yeah.
she's playing soccer right now and enjoying it. And they made her team captain, even though she was reluctant. She didn't want to do it, but they kind of voted her anyway. And so she's stepping up, man. I'm super proud of her.
That's
Yeah,
the
super proud of
next
her.
generation. That is
Yeah,
great. That
yeah,
is awesome.
yeah,
Well, we got to
yeah.
keep the
So.
lineage going. You got to get her involved in
Yeah.
basketball.
Yeah. Well, she's not really a basketball player. She tried a little bit, but I think soccer is a little bit more of her style. But
Okay.
really she's a social kid. She loves graphic design. I took her I'm mentoring another agent right now, and they own a graphic design company, and so we did kind of a little interview kind of tour of that company, and she really enjoyed it. It was a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
And she's trying to figure out how AI is going to integrate with graphic design and kind of the future of art and the future of that kind of business. But there's always going to be people. I mean, just like in the real estate industry, and the internet came about, they thought, oh, well, we don't need realtors anymore to sell houses. The internet can do that. Well, not really. Actually, it's gotten more complicated. And now forms and contracts are, 25, 30 pages that you actually have to understand and go
Mm-hmm.
through in order to buy a house, because there's so many issues and lawsuits that happen as a result of, buying a house. It's complicated. So you need risk aversion, and that is hiring a realtor to represent you and making sure that your interests are, put forth in forefront. So, yeah.
Well, hey, we just spent 3 minutes talking about Nixon and what her future is going to look like.
She'll be very happy about that.
Go Nixon. We love it. Hey, let me ask you about this, because as you were just talking about that and how difficult things can be to get to the finish line, are you implementing AI in anything you're doing with real estate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do weekly emails to my sphere. I need some
Nice.
ideas sometimes. But typically I use it to just modify. My grammar is not the best. I mean, I went to college not to go to school. Just kidding. I went to college to play basketball, but no, I got my business marketing degree in college. And so, but I don't always have the best writing skills. So I do use it to reformat kind of my content of what I do with real estate. I do it sometimes to check my work.
Mm.
So I'll do my typical market analysis and research for my clients, but then I plug into AI and say, hey, here's the market report, here's the Altos report, here's what's happening in this neighborhood, here's the pros and cons of this property. What do you think it should be priced at? And so I check my work that way, and usually I'm pretty on, which is good. So
Mm.
I've got some good systems in place in that regard. So yeah, I use it that way. I use it. How else do I use it? There's some other ways. I'm just blanking right now.
Yeah, it's so good at
Yeah,
times. It can also be so
yeah,
scary with all these
yeah. It
deep
is.
fakes and all
Yeah,
this stuff happening.
yeah.
So it's like
Right.
it's always good to have
You have to check your work.
you do, you 100% do.
Yeah.
Do not leave out the human element in a lot of this stuff,
Right.
because
Always.
we're finding out a lot in the industry that, people are trying to win over
Oh, there's
on
going to be
certain
lots of.
deals, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah. There's going to be lots of scams through it too. There's going to be lots. So you just got to be careful.
yeah.
That people are not pretending to be, somebody else. And I mean, I use it for simple things like checklists or car research or,
Yeah.
health stuff and, you
Sure.
know, crypto, hacks.
Got to do what you got to do. Hey,
I
just
know, right?
the key word there is be vigilant, right? Just
Be
always
vigilant,
be on guard, because not
and
everything
be
is as always.
curious.
Yeah,
But be curious. It's okay to be curious. Don't give it too much, personal information, but be curious with it, just,
sure.
yeah.
Let me ask you as we close up, because we've got
Yeah.
just about 2 minutes left, according to my Swatch watch. But
Okay.
we
Oh man.
that was a flashback, wasn't it?
I was like, you're dating us.
I know. I'm older than you. Let's not forget that.
Not by much.
I know, but let's talk about. I'm really fascinated by, like, one of my great. No, I won't even say mentor. I never met the man, but one of the great people that I thought was tremendous in coaching was the late great John Wooden, and his Pyramid of Success. And that is such a Bible for what so many people do in life,
Right.
not just in basketball or in sports, right? So as I'm looking at some of those things and the disciplines and all of it, I keep thinking to myself, well, holy cow. Like, on the women's side of things, sure, there's Gino Auriemma, but it was all paved first by Pat Summitt. What was
Yeah.
it like for you to play under her? Because she was not only successful, but she was damn tough on all of you, wasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, she was, especially her point guards. We were the leaders of the team. So we did not get any breaks. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pat had a philosophy called the definite dozen, and maybe you can show it on the show. I can send it to you.
Sure.
But it's huge, and I use it in my life as well. Discipline yourself so that no one else has to. Take responsibility. That's a big one. Be accountable. Like, when you mess up, say you mess up, move on, and or
Yeah.
accept it, make a change, and move on. So there's some really great concepts in there that I think everyone needs to know, especially this generation. But playing for Pat was one of the hardest things I ever did. When she was going through her dementia, in early 2013, 2014, I was able to take a trip there. And in fact, I brought Nixon with me, and she was, I think, 4. And, I mean, this may sound funny without context, but I actually forgave her for some of the ways that she treated me. And again, it wasn't horrible. It was just tough. It was
Yeah.
tough love, and it was hard. And And so it helped me say, hey, looking now 20 years later, saying, wow, I am so thankful that I would do it all over again.
Totally.
I would do it all over again, not because of the championships, but because she instilled in me some things that I could have never gotten elsewhere. And got some funny stories. I was in her book for a few times, in her books a few times for funny things that happened. And just, one of the things that she, constantly said about me, thankfully, was that I was just a very hard worker. I was resilient. And, I just kept getting up. I just kept getting up and getting after it. And, wanted to be, have the best attitude and the hardest working. That was something that I can control. I can't control whether or not she starts me. I can't control whether or not I'm the best player on the team, but I can control those two things. And that's something that I pass on to the kids that I work with now as I'm doing, small group training and local training at the community center. But also with my daughter, it's like, hey, I don't care what grade you get. I care if you have a good attitude and if you work hard at it.
Nailed it. That's a great way to close this thing out. Laurie Milligan, Vizzini, Premier Property Group. If you need a realtor, she was waiting for your call now. Thank you so much for joining us on KOIN Conversations, Laurie. Do appreciate it.
Yeah, you too, Adam. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.